The Porsche Macan never really caught my attention. I've never really wanted to drive it. I never even thought of this as a fun car, to be honest. I recently gave my 911 for service and I got a Porsche Macan as a loaner car. And my wife picked this car up and drove it back home. And she's one of those people who doesn't really appreciate cars or how they drive. For her, it is just a place to get from place A to B. And she commented that, hey, this car is great to drive. It's so smooth. You can't even tell it's going 70 miles an hour and it handles great. And I was like, wow, if she notices something about the car, maybe I should drive it and maybe make a review. Once you get into the car, you feel immediately comfortable as everything feels just like you're in a 911, except you're sitting higher. The seating position is great. The seats are well bolstered and very supportive. And the steering wheel is in perfect position. You can make a car extremely comfortable, like my BMW X7 is very comfortable, but it doesn't handle quite that well. You can also make a car handle extremely well, but it may not be that comfortable. Now, this compact SUV really surprised me. I don't think I've felt this balance of handling, comfort, and feel for the road in any other SUV before. I think Porsche is working some magic in the suspension of their cars. Almost similar to my 911, I can place this car with incredible precision across corners with very little body lean and a great feel for how the car is handling. This car is very comfortable and quiet on the highway with very little wind noise, probably because of the teardrop shape. And I used my phone to record sound levels and it was about 65 decibels. And this is, similar to or maybe just 1 decibel louder than my BMW X7. On some very smooth, newly laid sections of the highway, it dropped as low as 62 to 63 decibels, which is very impressive. The infotainment system is responsive and adequate, but other manufacturers, such as those in the BMW, are much better. Take me to Walmart.
Searching for Walmart at the location.
Once again, I can't stress and tell you how much I enjoy driving this car. On my BMW X7, it's very comfortable, but it still feels like you're getting on the car and you're sitting on the car and driving it. And this one, you feel more one with the car. You're sitting somewhat lower. There's less body roll. And it's just a much, much easier car to drive fast and drive safe and have fun. If you're someone that's used to driving a fun car like a 911 or something else, and you really appreciate aspects of the car like, how the steering wheel handles, how much feel for the road you're getting, how it handles in a corner, how the brakes feel, then you will really appreciate how this car drives. And let's say you wanted a second, more practical SUV, and you wanted an SUV that handles really well and still gives you reasonable comfort and some practicality. This is a very hard car to beat. It also has a pleasing sound during acceleration. Okay, now brake test from 60 miles an hour. Sudden brakes, the brake feel is very linear, progressive, and the car slows very quickly. The brakes are very predictable and progressive, and brakes are such an important but often underappreciated aspect of a car. I can take these corners at much faster speeds and feel very safe and comfortable doing it compared to any other SUV, especially my X7, which is my immediate comparison. The sharp left turn coming up is a place where I can feel the weight of most cars, especially bigger SUVs. Now this SUV manages to hide this quite well. Getting out of this car is much easier since it sits much closer to the ground and the door closes with a quality thunk. Well, let's hop into the back seat. The rear seat space is, just adequate. There's still a little bit of space between my knee and the front seat, and the front seat is positioned for me sitting in it. Now, crossing over to the other side is kind of hard because of the small hump in the middle. There's a small armrest with cup holders, and the center folds down for a pass-through. The button to open the trunk is cleverly disguised here, and there's quite a decent amount of trunk space, and this can be further expanded by folding down the seats. In short, I loved driving this car. Now, if you like driving cars and love everything about driving, you will love this car too. On the other hand, if you're more practical and value things like more space in the rear seats, more bells and whistles at a lower cost, then there are many other options in this segment in the market. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you value content like this, please subscribe and hit the like button and help me reach at least 1,000 subscribers so I can keep doing this out of passion. Thank you.